Mnangagwa's CIO nephew expelled from ZANU-PF over 2030 agenda mushure mekunge aramba kupushana uye chiitiko chevision 2030 achiramba kukambenira urongwa huri kupushwa nebazi rava Mnangagwa. Kusangana kwatinoita pana paYouTube channel yenyu Magaba News, patinobata nhau dzakasiyana-siyana dzinenge dzichiitika munharaunda nemunyika yedu yeZimbabwe, tichiitikana pane vachangotibata pano paMagaba News. Ndiwo mukana wekubaya button rakanzi subscribe. Zuva ranhasi tauya takabata maererano nechiitiko chiri kuziviswa muruzhinji rwenyika yeZimbabwe, apo achiziviswa kunzi nephew yava Mnangagwa yoramba kupusha urongwa hwe2030 apo paari kuwanikwa achidzingwa mune zvematongero enyika ebato reZANU-PF mushure mekunge aramba akupusha kuti 2030 vaMnangagwa vanenge vachitonga. So mukaona kuti hama kana dzaakurambawo zve2030 rakudza kuti hazvina kumira mushe. So hama yava Mnangagwa iyi mumwe wesenior officer in Zimbabwean Central Intelligence Organization, ende zita rake anonzi Penason Mbalekwa, anova hama yava Mnangagwa iri kunzi yabudiswa muZANU-PF neurongwa hwekuramba chiitiko chekupusha vision 2030. According to news, a major political storm is brewing inside the ZANU-PF after President Emmerson Mnangagwa's nephew Penason Mbalekwa was reportedly expelled from the ruling party following disagreement linked to the controversial 2030 agenda. According to reports shared by Neanda Radio, Mbalekwa allegedly refused to support constitutional change and political slogan aimed at extending President Mnangagwa's stay in power beyond the current constitutional limit. The development has triggered a fresh debate over growing divisions inside ZANU-PF, especially around the push for the 2030 Mnangagwa vanenge vachitonga campaign. Source familiar with the matter said Mbalekwa, who previously worked as a senior officer in Zimbabwe Central Intelligence Organization, reportedly resisted pressure to support the proposed constitutional amendment bill promoted by allies of the president. Reports claimed that this resistance placed him at odds with influential figures within the ruling party. According to the insider, the discipline process that led to the expulsion was allegedly driven by Justice Minister Ziyambi, who also serves as ZANU-PF Secretary for Legal Affairs. Party sources reportedly described the disciplinary hearing as a process that has already been decided before it even began. A provincial disciplinary committee appointed by senior party officials July Moyo and Owen Ngube is said to have recommended that Mbalekwa be expelled from the party. The disciplinary process were reportedly chaired by Louis Matutu alongside the committee members Ngwenya and also Mupereri Maziva Zose and Maxwell Mataranyika. According to a disciplinary letter reportedly seen by journalist, Mbalekwa was accused of refusing to align himself with the province's ethos, principles, conduct and aspiration. However, inside within the party reportedly believed the real issue centered on his refusal to support or chant slogan connected with the 2030 campaign. The campaign has become increasingly controversial in Zimbabwean politics because the critic it appears to support extending President Mnangagwa's leadership beyond the constitutional term limit. Source also claims that the decision to expel Mbalekwa was already being endorsed by the ZANU-PF Politburo, the party's highest decision-making body. What has shocked many observers that Mbalekwa was once regarded as one of the President Mnangagwa's trusted security associates. Source close to him reportedly said he had previously distanced himself from what he described as ridiculous things taking place within the section of the party. Mbalekwa political and security history stretches back several decades. During the liberation struggle era, he reportedly lived with Mnangagwa in Zambia and served in the Zambia military before returning to Zimbabwe after independence. After independence, he joined the Central Intelligence Organization, which at the time was headed by Mnangagwa. He later worked on several security assignments, including operations linked to Zimbabwe's involvement in Mozambique and during the conflicts against Renamo. Reports also say he served at Zimbabwe's embassy in Kenya. Sources familiar with his background claim Mbelekwa played an important role in persuading to support peace negotiation efforts that later contribute to political stability in Mozambique. After his years in the security sector, Mbelekwa eventually entered the mainstream politics and became a ZANU-PF member of parliament. But this is not the first time he has clashed with powerful figures inside the ruling party. During the final years of former President Robert Mugabe administration, Mbelekwa was reportedly expelled from ZANU-PF after openly urging Mugabe to step aside and allow political renewal in the country. The following that fell out, he later worked as a security advisor to the late opposition leader Morgan Tsvangirai. However, after President Mnangagwa took over power in 2017, Mbelekwa eventually rejoined ZANU-PF, returned to government structures. He later served as head of investigation in the Special Anti-Corruption Unit operating from the presidential office. But reports suggested he later resigned from the role after becoming frustrated by what he allegedly viewed as a selective prosecution and political protection for certain individuals accused of corruption. In recent years, tension between Mbelekwa and ZANU-PF structure in the Midlands province reportedly intensified as he continued refusing to participate in chanting and slogan supporting the 2030 agenda. The latest development are now raising serious questions about division within ZANU-PF as debate over constitutional amendment and succession politics continues to grow. Critics of the 2030 campaign urge that Zimbabwe constitution clearly outlined presidential term limits, while supporters of the agenda insisted the campaign reflects the continued confidence in Mnangagwa's leadership. At the moment, neither President Mnangagwa nor ZANU-PF is publicly responding in detail to reports surrounding Mbelekwa expulsion. The story has already sparked widespread discussions across Zimbabwe political landscape, with many closely watch how internal tensions inside the ruling party continues to unfold. Mre Zimbabwe ndona wiri kubuda ndona yatikuya takabata ende kudzingwa kwehama yava Mnangagwa uku kuri kunzi hakusikwe kutanga kubuda muZANU-PF kwaakaita. Akamubuda muZANU-PF panguva yakazobva the late Robert Mugabe. And also vanhu vari kuti aiwa zviri kurakidza kuti ndiko kwazvakuenda zvakare, story kungoripita. Ari kunzi paakangodzingwa vaMugabe havana kutora nguva, ndo paakaenda unomushanda navaMorgan Tsvangirai, achizobva kwaVaMorgan Tsvangirai achidzoka zvakare muZANU-PF kuti apinde akuva kuCentral Intelligence inhau yavaMnangagwa, sezvo vaMnangagwa ndo pavaitungamira Central Intelligence. So nhau iyi yoita kuti veruzhinji voti Zimbabwe iri kungodzokorodza history. Vamwe vakatiwo as long as he said the truth, because it's wow, let them expel him, he has people at heart. Vamwe vakataurawo pamusoro pechiitiko vakati raising the firing of generals. Vamwe vakati it's better to die for values and principles, diving through breeding ground for better policy. I want to think this jump was responsible for Tsvangirai's security as Zimbabwe give up. Vamwe vakati Mbelekwa used to be a ZANU-PF member, akajoina MDC in 2007 akadzokerazve kuZANU-PF izvezvo akubuda futi. Vamwe vakatiwo this is a complex situation, but it takes a lot of courage to stand up for what you believe in, even if it means going against family and party lines. Vamwe vakati amazing, so who really was Tsvangirai surrounded by? Vamwe vakati saka chef vaida kusara nevanopenga chete. Vamwe ndo nhau iri kutaurika, so vanhu vari kuti vanhu ava ndo vaifamba nemaopposition, zviri kurakidza kuti hapana kwatiri kuenda. Ndiyo nawo yatova tikabata, ndiyo nawo yatova nayo pano pa YouTube channel yenyu Magaba News.